Okay, let's talk about one of the most chilling cold cases in all of history. Jack the Ripper. You know the name. A killer who haunted the foggy streets of London, did things, well, things that are almost unimaginable, and then just disappeared. He left behind a single question that we still can't answer, even today. And that's the big one, isn't it? The question that's driven people crazy for more than 130 years. Who was this guy? He was a ghost? A monster hiding in the fog? So together, we're going to trace the steps, look at the evidence, and try to understand the hunt for this killer. Let's get right into it. So, to get a handle on this killer, you first have to picture his world. We're heading back to 1888, London, an autumn of terror. You've really got to understand what Whitechapel was like back then. It wasn't the London you see in postcards. We're talking about overcrowded slums, grimy, dark streets. Poverty and crime were just a part of life. And for so many women, prostitution was the only way to get by. Their workplace? Those dark, gaslit alleyways. It's a horrible thing to say, but this made them the perfect, vulnerable targets for a predator waiting in the shadows. All right, now let's get to the victims. While there might have been more, historians and police really focus on 5 women. They're called the Canonical Five, and their murders, well, they create a terrifying trail of brutality. Just look at how fast this all happened. We're talking about a few short months in the fall of 1888. August 31st, boom. September 8th, boom. 2 more on September 30th. And the last one on November 9th. The sheer speed of these killings, it sent absolute panic through the entire city. No one felt safe. So it begins with Marianne Nichols. Her murder was awful, of course. But just a week later, with Annie Chapman, things escalated horribly. It wasn't just murder anymore. The killer had, well, he performed this grotesque surgery on her, removing her uterus with a kind of chilling precision. This was the first real clue that whoever was doing this knew their way around a human body. And then came what's known as the double event. This just shows you the pure nerve of this guy. He kills one woman, Elizabeth Stride, but something probably spooks him and he gets interrupted. Does he run? No. Less than an hour later, he finds another victim, Catherine Eddowes. And get this, in almost total darkness, he savagely mutilates her, taking out her kidney and uterus. Police believed he did all that in less than 15 minutes. The skill, the sheer audacity, it's just mind-boggling. You know, as if the actual martyrs weren't bad enough, the killer decided he wanted to talk. He starts taunting everyone, the police, the newspapers. He sent letters from hell. So the first big one was the Dear Boss letter, and that's it. That's where the name Jack the Ripper comes from. He literally named himself. Then came the Saucy Jackie postcard, which was super creepy because it mentioned the double event before the public knew the details. But most experts think the third letter is the one that was probably the real deal. And that was the From Hell letter. It arrived with a small box. Inside, half a human kidney, almost certainly from Catherine Eddowes. The note basically said, "From hell, I send you half the kidney I took. I fried and ate it. It was very nice." Can you even imagine? That act right there, that's what turned him from a killer into a legendary boogeyman. And then came the final act, Mary Jane Kelly. This one was different. It was the only murder that happened indoors, in her own small room. And that meant the killer had time, privacy. The crime scene, it was beyond horrific. I mean, seasoned police officers were physically ill. Her body was mutilated beyond recognition. And then, just like that, it was over. The Ripper was gone. The killings just stopped. So, the biggest question of all, how did he get away with it? How do you hunt a ghost? Well, the police were completely out of their depth trying to find one man in a massive city, and they were facing problems we can barely imagine today. Okay, let's talk suspects. And believe me, there have been a lot of them, over 100. But there are a few big ones. You've got Montague Druitt, a lawyer who killed himself right after the last murder. Then there's Aaron Kosminski, a local guy with severe mental health issues. And Francis Tumblety, an American doctor who openly hated women and then skipped town. They all sound plausible, right? But here's the thing. For every theory, there was never any real, hard proof. Nothing. It was really the perfect storm for a killer to get away. First off, forget forensics. DNA, fingerprints, none of that existed. Witnesses? Well, their descriptions were all over the place, which isn't surprising on those dark, foggy streets. You also had police departments that were practically fighting with each other instead of working together. On top of all that, the killer himself was careful and just plain lucky. And then he stopped. The trail just went cold. Poof, he was gone. So why are we still talking about him? I mean, tragically, there have been killers with way more victims. What makes the Ripper's legacy so permanent? What makes this mystery so sticky? Well, for one, this was maybe the first time a serial killer became a global media sensation. Newspapers went crazy with the story, and the legend just grew and grew. And this fear, it wasn't just in the slums. It went all the way up to the top, even to Queen Victoria. He wasn't just a criminal anymore. He became the ultimate whodunit, the real-life monster that has inspired countless books and movies ever since. And really, this is the core of it all. It was never about how many people he killed. It was about how he killed them, with this terrifying, surgical brutality. But even more than that, it's the fact that he was a ghost. He did these terrible things and then just melted back into the London fog, never caught, never identified. So, we're right back where we started. Who was Jack the Ripper? A skilled doctor? A simple butcher? A rich man playing a sick game? A complete madman? The honest-to-God truth is, after all this time, after hundreds of suspects and a mountain of books, we still have the same answer. We just don't know. And the most chilling part? We probably never will.